Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. As we get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news the Chinese are clamping down harder on cash flows. However, first in the US, the growth of consumer credit fell sharply in June. That was what markets were expecting, but not by this much. The growth in May was unusually high, however. June flows were 15.7% lower than for the same month a year ago. Still, the amounts outstanding at the end of June were still 5.7% higher than they were in the same month a year ago. This is now almost a $3.9 trillion credit segment. A good proportion of that is for car loans, but a large car loan of a different sort was announced overnight by Tesla, who are about to issue a $1.5 billion senior unsecured note that will be rated by S&P as junk. The company is seeking to raise production of its mass market vehicle to 10,000 units per week from its San Francisco Bay factory by the end of next year to deliver a backlog of 500,000 orders for its electric cars. On the central bank front, August is the time the bosses of most gather in Jackson Hole, Wyoming to huddle and share war stories. This year is no different, and the ECB boss will be there before to announce his next move. The Chinese have announced they have managed to keep their US dollar reserves above the $3 trillion level as at June. That is 6 straight months it has held above that level. And they are keeping up the pressure to avoid the type of outflows we saw in 2016. They issued a new ruling on Thursday requiring all banks to report their transactions above 1,000 yuan, that's $200. And then they had to report within 24 hours starting from the 21st of August. And in Europe, some very large numbers are being thrown around there too about what the EU expects the UK to pay as part of its divorce settlement. In any case, the UK has been reminded that it has made commitments to the EU out to 2020, so payments under those will still need to be made. The next set of intensive negotiations will restart at the end of this month. In Australia, the board meeting of CBA continues today, and there is intense speculation about the future of its CEO, Kiwi Ian Narev. And a few hours ago, the price of Bitcoin hit a new high at $3,459. Remember, it forked just a week ago, and it was under $2,000 less than a month ago. And that came after it hit a $3,000 record high a month before that. Volatility is the normal state for this cryptocurrency. In New York, the US Treasury 10-year yield is essentially unchanged at 2.26%. The price of oil has slipped, however it's now just over $49 a barrel, while the Brent benchmark is now just over $52. A rebound in production from Libya's largest oil field, along with worries about higher output from OPEC and the United States, are behind the change. The price of gold is basically unchanged at $1,258 an ounce, and the Kiwi dollar will start down today, down by half a cent at 73.6 US cents. While the cross rates were marginally lower there as well, at 93 Aussie cents and 62.4 euro cents. As a result, the TWI will start at 76.1. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.